Welcome to episode 2 of our budget rally car build. Remember when I said on the list to check your handbrake works on private land? We can tick that off the list now. Good old turning wand. So I've been spending some money. Most of the stuff I've bought here is second-hand stuff or used stuff. So I'm only doing that because like the whole idea of this was to keep the price down and a bit of a budget motorsport. Now, rallying isn't cheap at the best of times, so if you can make it a little bit cheaper with doing stuff like this, then you got more money in your pocket. I've bought some second-hand belts. They're exactly the same as the ones that were in the car, except these ones are in date. So these are dated, not valid after 2026. But in the UK, they'll have if they've got the right homologation number, they'll have a slight extension on that as well. So belts, I think, are 10 years plus 2, something like that. But I'll get all that information right for you. But basically, on the label there, it'll say not valid after 2026, or it'll say a date. If it's a date that's passed, then obviously it's out of date, like the ones that were in that car. So these were second-hand. I got these off Facebook Marketplace, something like that, like most of the stuff that people buy. We also sell these new on our website, and yeah, you can buy them new, but again, it's more cost. So we bought them second-hand because there was plenty of life left in them, and they'll do the job. Next thing we got is the SOS board that we talked about. We've got that. We've got a new one for that. We didn't get a second-hand one of them, although you probably can. You could just get one sticker made on a board like that. No problem with that. Glass hammer and belt cutters, both in one. Quite a handy little thing, easy to store in the car. We didn't have those, so we needed that. First aid kit. Again, we've got a second-hand one. We just made sure it's complete. Just in a nice little bag like that, easy to keep somewhere. Spill kit we got there, that's 2.4 litre hydrocarbon spill kit. You know, small bag. What you can do really with these is just have a look inside them and copy that really, just to make sure it's got the right amount of stuff in it. This is the fire extinguisher. I'll talk quickly about this. But these are the pull cables, so inside and outside, all the pipe works in there. There's a mount there for the actual tank. Now, with these, this is brand new, but if you're buying a fire extinguisher, buy all the kit and then wait until you're nearly ready to do your first rally to get the tank itself, because the tank is expiring as it's sat there, along with most of this stuff. But the fire extinguishers are quite expensive, so buy all the kit and then get the tank last, as soon as you're ready to do a rally, and then it'll be in date from when you get it fitted for the rally. So it just prolong. So you buy this kit, fit all that in, and then a couple of weeks before you do the rally, get the tank in. Obviously, if you're doing a rally straight away, then you get it all at once, but that will be going out of date as soon as you get it. So that's all there. All the little nozzles and things are in the bag there. They all need fitting in the car. They will have to go in certain places of the car, engine bay and inside. I think there's 6 I think in total or something like that. But I will confirm all that. Mud flaps, we bought some mud flaps. These Greystone ones are usually quite good, 4mm rally flaps. We need to fit those on. Then rally triangle. I got a second-hand one. Some BMWs have these in the boot, something like that. So that would do. So that's quite handy. It's quite big that, but it is quite nice to mount, easy to mount in the car. Then we go on to seats. Again, I've gone for some second-hand seats just to keep the costs down. These have got plenty of life left in them. I think the date on these is, again, not valid after 2026, so same as the belts. But then there's a 2-year extension on these as well, so you've got another couple of years on top of that. One is got wings on it and one hasn't, which it doesn't really matter. It's just the style of seat. This one was probably more expensive than that one when they were bought new. Not too heavy. and perfect fit for me really. My bum fits in them quite well. Tyres, again I bought some second-hand tyres. You can buy new ones. For what we're doing single venue event, so it'll be mainly tarmac, so I've gone for like a fast road track or stroke track tyre, Yokohama AO48 that is. So yeah, we'll fit those on the car. 14-inch I've gone for, so I have had to buy some new wheels. I don't mind buying new wheels because I like wheels. These are quite a rare wheel. Now they do need refurbishing, but these are quite a rare strong wheel made by Bridgestone. And their Nissan fitment, obviously. They're really hard to get hold of these, but they're exactly. I've wanted a set of these for a while because I think they're quite cool. So these are going to go on the car. We've gone for 14-inch because we've got more of a choice of tyres, and it'll be a bit better gearing and maybe handle a bit better with 14s. Yeah, so that's all the stuff. All we need to do now is put it in the car, and then go and test it. So that'll be the next job. You can watch me over the next few days fitting all this stuff onto the car. Why am I doing this now, you ask? Because I want it to look good on telly. Very professional. They're not in perfect condition, I know that. And I will re-powder coat them at some point. But let's get a wheel on. Let's get the tyre fitted so that we can go rallying. And I'm kind of giving you a lesson of how to fit a tyre at the same time. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? Yokohama AO48. There's not many of these around now, so I don't think they make them anymore. But if you can get some second-hand ones, it'll do perfectly for the kind of event that we're doing, which is a single venue event. And have I talked to you about? I think I've talked about the difference between single venues and multi-venues, haven't I? So, right. So there'll be a direction of rotation on these, which is there. Obviously, we need them to be going, well, the V is going forward, so make sure the direction of rotation is right, so then when you put it on the car it's going the right way. Everyone judging me on my tyre fitting techniques now and calling me a whatever they want to call me because I got assist arms. There's the tyre fitted. Let's put some air in it. Valve core. I'm going to stick them up to like 40 psi just to make sure they're seated, and I can monitor them then. Like that. Just like that. Valve cap. I'm not going to balance them because as soon as I get to the first corner they'll be out of balance anyway. So there we go. So while I've had it on the ramp, I've noticed some bits that we need to do before we rally it. So come and have a look at this. This bush here, if you watch now, when I move it, this bush moves. You see that? So that will need replacing. That means this bush is worn out. And I think it's the same on the other side as well. So I'll show you that. Yeah, it is a lot worse. So you can see that bush moving in and out, and the shaft and everything's moving. So that could potentially damage our shaft. And it also won't handle properly because the tracking will be out. So what we'll do is we'll change those bushes and we will get it all tracked then, and hopefully the front end will be sorted. But that's just a case of perished bush from being sat, and these are the things you need to check before you go testing or rallying. So it's a good job we noticed it now. Right, before you go anywhere, if you've fitted new wheels, you need to torque them. Hello wheels, how are you? No, I don't mean like that, I mean like this. So 90 Newton meters. Do that, all four, obviously. And it's probably worth doing this every time you come into service. Check the torque of the wheels, because you never know, it could come loose during a stage. So every time you get a chance, get the torque wrench out, torque all the wheels. Just make sure they're tight. Last thing you want is a wheel coming off. Right, I'm just finishing off putting these seats in. So the new seats are in. Just make sure these are all tight. Now I've adjusted this so that it's comfortable for me, but obviously If you're taller or shorter, you would adjust it forward or backwards. That's simple, obviously. I put the belts in this side. I'll just show you the back of the belts where they go onto the harness bar. I'll just show you how to tighten those off. But otherwise, seats and belts are ticked off the list. This is how you do the belts. So you go around the back in through there, pull it tight. You can hear a dog in the background, that's Chip, I'll introduce you to him later. And then we go like that, make sure that's all tidy, and then you can go back through there then, just to lock it off finally. That one's it's always a bit tight doing the last bit. Like that. So that's tight. And then what I like to do then, just to make it even tidier, is roll these up like that, and then a little cable tie through there. It just looks tidier, it's not flapping around like that. But I'll finish those off when I've set them to my length, just to make sure that they're all tight and fit me well. Right, this is a bit of a fiddly job, mud flaps. This is the last thing we really need to do before it's pretty much rally legal. So I'm going to put the mud flap brackets on, and then I'm going to have a go at putting a mud flap on. There is some measurements. They can't be any less than 80 mil off the floor. Any more than 80 mil off the floor. I think is the measurement. I'll confirm it, but yeah. So we have to. I have actually measured them beforehand while it was on the floor, so I know roughly where to put the mud flap. So the holes are drilled for the little mud flap brackets. Them little things. You can buy them off our website or wherever you want. So I'm going to rivet these on to the wing. Watch it, I love this tool. Look at that! Look at it! Look at that. Lovely finish. Just make sure you put them on the right way. I nearly did that on the other side. I nearly put it on that way, which was quite embarrassing. So one more on there. I always like to put things in my mouth. It's quite a good thing to hold. Here we go. Look at that. So, mud flaps need to go on, and I think it's about there where I've marked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the bits here, but these bits will be cable tied on. Now I know you might think cable ties won't be strong enough, but I would rather that the mud flap got ripped off than my whole wing ripped off. So if you bolt them on or rivet them on, the chances are of you catching something or it getting caught in the wheel or something like that, and it'll rip the whole wing off. So you want it to be, if you put a cable tie in it, it's a little bit weaker, and it could just, worst case, it'll just break that or rip the mud flap off. So that's what I'm going to do there. And then these bits here, I'm going to round those off because I don't like having sharp ones. Because if you're working on the car, changing a wheel or something, and you put your head in to look at something, it's quite sharp, that edge. I know it's only rubber, but it is quite a sharp little edge, so I like to round them off, but we'll show you that after as well. So we'll get these fitted all around the car, and then we're pretty much rally legal then. Right through into my finger. Health and safety, guys, health and safety. Pretty much confident that after we've fitted these mud flaps, the only thing we will need to do, well, we'll need to test the car, obviously, but the only other thing we'll need to do is get our in-date extinguisher bottle, and then it's ready to rally, pretty much. We'll change these as well, the discs. We've still got the mechanical bits to do, but all the little bits of regulation stuff is all sorted. Right, we talked about vehicle passports and logbooks. So your car, if you're going to do a rally, will need one of those, which is the new style passport. It's got the manufacturer, car manufacturer, all the fuel tank information, homologated equipment, dimensions, make and model of the car, and then on here you put any changes. The scrutineer will put any changes. Like the first thing there is the owner of the vehicle, last owner, and then new owner. So that's the new style passport, which every car will have to have soon. Even if you've got the old style passport, which is this one, it will need upgrading to this one. So this is the old style logbook your car might come with. This is for our Renault 11, which was red. I've covered the owner's details up there, but basically the owner's details will go on that bit. It's got the date and numbers, MSA logbook number and the date issued. Now, these all need upgrading to that type. But if you've got this one, then that will help the scrutineer with all the information he needs. So, old logbook, competition logbook. Now the old ones you cannot reapply for these. If you've lost that MSA one, the old style one, it's gone for good and you'll have to re-logbook it. If your car's got one of these, the vehicle passport, then the MSA, Motorsport UK, have these on record so you can apply for a new one. That's logbooks.